In this particular video, we will move on with our lecture on group theory. Okay, basically on groups. So the last lecture we had learned about binary composition, which is the base of group theory. So in this thing, we will learn about groupoid, semi group, monoid, abelian, non-abelian groups, abelian, non-abelian groups. So these things we will be learning today. Okay, what are they? They are the elementary steps with which basically lead to the formation of groups. Okay, so basically, what is a groupoid? So what is a groupoid? So groupoid is an algebraic system consisting of a non-empty set, say G, and a binary composition on G, say star. Okay, so groupoid is an algebraic system consisting of a non-empty set, say G, and a binary composition on G, that is star. And a groupoid is basically, you can write it like this. Okay, you can write it like this. So now this is a groupoid. So what are the examples of a groupoid? So examples of a groupoid can be your set of all integers. Let it be set of all integers. So set of all integers and the binary composition of addition composition. Then you can have the set of all rationals and the set of all rationals and multiplication. These are the examples of groupoid. Now if a groupoid is commutative, then it's called commutative groupoid. And if the groupoid is non-commutative, then it is known as a non-commutative groupoid. Simple as that. Okay, if it is non-commutative, then it is known as a non-commutative groupoid. Okay, as simple as that. Okay, in the next portion we have something called a semi group. So what is a semi group? If a groupoid is associative, then it's called a semi group. So in the semi group we have an example which we have already written in the groupoid case, that is set of all integers and addition. Okay, they're associative in nature. Next we have a monoid. What is a monoid? So if A if a semi group has a left sorry wait a minute has a left identity then it's called a monoid. So what can be the examples of monoid? So the examples of monoid can be set of all integers and addition. You can have set of all rationals and multiplication. Okay, got it? Okay. Okay. Next, you have the last condition, which will finally form into a group, and you call it a group itself. So basically, if a monoid has a left inverse for all A belonging to the set G, then the monoid, then it's called a group. And the examples which we have for groups are, the first example which we have for a group is, let me change the color of the pen. So we have the set of all integers and plus, and the set of all positive rationals and multiplication. Okay, so these are the cases where we have where we form a group. Next, we have something called an abelian group and non-abelian group. So let us first define it only. Basically, it will itself lead to the definition of a non-abelian group. So what is an abelian group? Basically, if a group is commutative, then it's called abelian group. This is an example of an abelian group. Got it? This is an example of an abelian group. Got it? Okay. So next we move on to the next topic, which is a pretty short topic, that is finite and infinite group. So finite group is the group which contains a finite set. Finite group is a group which contains a finite set, and its order is the cardinal number of the set. A finite group is the group which contains a finite set, and its order, this is order, is the cardinal number of the set. Therefore, infinite group is the group which contains infinite set. The order of an infinite group is infinite. Got my point? Okay. Okay, so pretty clear, right? Okay, so now sometimes you can ask me a question. Sometimes you can ask me a question, or you should have asked this question to anyone who will be teaching you group theory. That, sir, till monoid we had learned that q star is a monoid. Okay, where star is multiplication, but we do not find this set in the group. Instead we write q, all the all the non negative rationals. So basically what happens, see that if, now see, we know ki 0 is also a rational number, 0 is also a rational number, but 0 has no left identity. 0 has no left identity. That means ki this condition becomes false for the element 0. That's why we cannot take a set which contains 0. Okay, so let us keep this lecture up to this much. In the next lecture we will be learning about the elementary theorems on group, and we will show some proof, we will see some proofs of those elementary theorems, and later we will be moving on to the permutations. Okay, so meet you in the next lecture.